Hi, it's Michelle Einstein Songbird Song. This is part 2 of Eve Ayer's Men Griping About Their Body Flaws. And I left off at this man named Josh Kagan because Joe Friedman knocked on my door to tell me that Josh Groban is going to be on James Corden's show, and I better come now if I wanted to see him. So that's why I stopped the video to go and see Josh Groban. And he was very interesting. He's funny, and he didn't sing, but he was just being interviewed. And he talked about a thing he has on Audible where he's acting like he's Billy Joel, and a girl named Miranda is in the show, and she's a girl who gets men, I gather, famous men to fall in love with her. So, it's kind of unnerving because I don't know. I have to watch it. I can't watch it. It's on Audible. I have to listen to it to see what the deal is with it, because it's kind of close. It's kind of close to my life. And on that show, he had a girl. I never heard of her before, and I don't remember her name, but she had written a memoir, and she started selling it in an airport. Now, God told me to write a memoir about being an airline stewardess. So, you see, that's kind of close right there. So, I have all these things going on, in celebrities' lives that are close to what's going on in my life. But anyway, let us continue with the men who are ashamed of parts of their bodies. Josh Kagan says, he's 53 years old, he says, I'm a little heavier than I thought I would be at this age. I come from a really skinny family. I keep thinking that one of these days I'll get back to 165 pounds. So you think only women go through that, but it's not true. Men go through it too. I think that only women have body self-esteem. No. Oh, I'll see. That's the first page. Okay, let's get organized here, Michelle. Okay, he said, Richard Byrd, age 45, says, these are men who agreed to be interviewed about their dissatisfaction with parts of their bodies. Richard Byrd says, I have a high metabolism, so it's hard for me to gain weight. Obviously, I would love to be a more muscular guy doing this photo shoot. It was a challenge. Does anybody want to see me without a shirt? I was definitely insecure about my body as a kid. I used to get a lot of flack from friends for being skinny. So he's still skinny. That's why he said it was a challenge for him to allow himself to be photographed. And did anybody want to see his body? I didn't notice. You know what I've noticed? I don't notice the flaws in these men until they point them out. And still, they don't seem like a big deal to me. So this is a lesson for all of us girls too. Don't be a drama queen about what you think your imperfections are, because other people that may or may not think that. Who cares what they think? It's up to you. You know what I've learned? It's up to the individual to accept their own body. Like Tyra Banks' mother told her, find one thing you like about your body and go for that. Right. So Tim Kirkpatrick, age 67, said, I feel pretty good, but I've got a bum ankle. It hurts a lot. I've been to specialists. It's so arthritic they can't do anything. They basically told me, sorry, the joint is too far gone. I almost cried in the doctor's office when I got the news. I detest my ankle so much. It makes me self-conscious. I basically hobble around on this thing. You see, you get angry with the body part that's not working normally. Yeah, it would be good to do some talk and share therapy about it so you could accept it. Just say, I'm angry with my ankle, and I hate my ankle. And then after you own all of the emotions attached to the injury, you'll be able to look at it objectively and say, well, it's not the ankle's fault. Then I have arthritis. It's probably because of my diet, Paul McCartney's 80 years old. He doesn't have arthritis. He does yoga, and he's a vegetarian. So maybe I should do yoga and become a vegetarian and get my diet healthy. Then I won't have arthritis. Josh Hyman said, this is second Josh in this study, Age 41 says, I haven't gone to the gym in 5 years. I went through this, I don't give a F-U-C-K period, when I reached my late 30s. I'm tired of trying to become something I'm never going to be. Now you see, that's a decision. He just made that decision. I'm never going to be what I want to be. That's a decision he just made. He's giving up. You see that? Okay. Then he says, I'm as heavy as I've ever been, which worries me sometimes. I think about diabetes and heart disease, but I don't want to fight it anymore. He doesn't want to fight what? Why should he fight? Why doesn't he just take care of his body? These books, this book here, he tells you how to prevent heart disease. Boundless by Ben Greenfield. You can tell I've been reading it because it's kind of tattered looking. But he has so much helpful information in that book. He calls it a recipe book. I call it a Bible. But I'm going to call it a recipe book because he knows what it is. Then Josh Hyman goes on to say, other people seem to have an issue with my back hair. I personally don't care. If they don't like it, they can come over and shave me. Of course, nobody's going to do that. So he's angry and depressed, probably. When I married my husband, Michael John Spear, he had a lot of hair on his chest, and I loved it. And he was so surprised because people give him a hard time about being so hairy. He's white, and his student, little black girl, used to look at him like he was some kind of freak and touch his hair on his arm. She never saw so much hair. And I love it because I love men, and I love masculine things like hair. I know they're part animal, so it doesn't bother me if they look part animal. In fact, I like it. I find it attractive. Like beards. I like beards. Because I think men are supposed to wear beards. Birdsong used to say, white men look like girls. They don't look like girls if they wear beards. Just saying. Okay, Gildo Spotto, age 63, said, younger people probably look at me and say, that looks like a cool grandpa. I would hang with that grandpa. And then he says, it's just the arthritis in my knees that make me feel old. Getting old ain't for wimps. If you want to get to be 63, then you've got to buck up and be, prepared. You can't, if you don't get to be 63, what do you die? Is that your alternative? Either you get to be 63 if you live that long, or you die. Okay, and then he says you can't reverse. You can't let yourself rust. The aging process is not going in reverse. This man, Ben Greenfield, is a nutritionist and a biohacker. He has clues about how you can reverse your age. And this book here, same thing. Josh Middledorf and Dorian Sagan, who's Carl Sagan's son, they wrote a book, Cracking the Aging Code. What it means for staying young, the new science of growing old, and what it means for staying young. See, science has made a lot of progress about aging, and when I first saw Ben Greenfield, he was 43 and he looked 20 because he had had a full body stem cell procedure where he put all new stem cells in his body joints, and it took 20 years off his age. Okay, so he said the aging process is not going in reverse, and I just told you it is. In some cases, it's full tilt boogie baby. That's what this Grandpa Gildo Spotto says. And then I'll say, I beg to differ. He might want to read Ben Greenfield's book, Boundless, Upgrade Your Brain, Optimize Your Body, and Defy Aging. It talks about age reversal procedures in his book. And then I talk about this book, Cracking the Aging Code. Now, Ethan Feldman, age 34, says, I started growing hair up on my shoulders. I knew it was going to happen. My dad is a very hairy gentleman. Very hairy. So I knew it was in the cards for me, but now it's like a jungle on my shoulders. See, I like hair. That wouldn't bother me. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how other women feel about it. My hairline is receding, but now I've got hair growing up from my butt. It's the worst. I would like to have abs at one point in my life. It's there. It's just under all the layers of fat. So I guess he's cracking a joke on himself. I keep hearing two things from men. They don't like having big bellies, and they want to be muscular. See, I didn't know that. That's like women. They don't like having big bellies either, unless they're pregnant. And they want to be skinny because the social construct got them thinking they're supposed to be skinny and hard, whereas they're supposed to be plump and soft. That's the way nature made them. Comment from H18827. What is considered to be handsome or beautiful changes from generation to generation. If you watch an old movie, notice that they do not have the six-packs that are considered. Wait a minute. If you watch an old movie with the virile, hairy, bare-chested, you will notice that they do not have the six-packs that are considered to be virile today. Henry Williams, a black gentleman, age 72, said, something that used to bother me about my body as a child was my large forehead. I thought it made me look unattractive, but as I've gotten older, I would say, look at me. Look at what I have. And then he laughs. The negative became a positive. I was a shy kid. I'd hide and stuff. But at 70, I don't want to hide. I love my body, even my big forehead. Here's what I've learned. You've got to be careful with that body. It's got to last you longer than cars do, somewhere from 50 to 100 years. Take good care of it, son. The one, Vincent Perez Mora from Venezuela, has been officially confirmed as the oldest male person living at 112 years and 253 days as of February 2022. The Guinness Book of World Records reported that. Okay, now just be patient, turn the page. Who is the oldest person in the world? With the passing of Japan's Kane Tanaka at the age of 119 this week, the title of oldest living human has been bequeathed to the French-born Lucille Randon. And then a question. Who lived to be 200 years old? Lai Ching Ying, occupation herbalist, who lived for 300 years. According to one tradition, Epaminondas of Crete, 7th and 6th centuries BC, lived nearly 300 years. www.businessinsider.com says, the human lifespan is theoretically limitless, a study suggests. Question, what is the oldest woman's name? Jean-Louise Calment from France. She died the 4th of August, 1997. She lived to be 122 years. Can humans live for 500 years? Scientists believe genetic tweaks could significantly extend our lifespan. Living to the ripe old age of 500 might be a possibility if the science shown to extend worms' lives can be applied to humans, scientists have said. Well, I see no reason why not. Just figure it out, smart guys. Okay, this is the last page. It says, Gloria Gaynor says, as long as I've got love, I know I'll stay alive. With that mindset, she sings it, it's a song. If one also had love, one would live indefinitely. In other words, if she had love and if she gave love, right? Because Nat King Cole said the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. If you have love and you're loved in return, and you have your health, why wouldn't you want to keep living? George Benson sang the greatest love of all is learning to love yourself. It's a double meaning. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. Methuselah lived to be 900 plus years old. Why not you and your loved ones? Better yet, why die at all? Commit to living and loving forever. Tyra Banks, I think I already told this story. I'll tell it again. Tyra Banks' mother told her to pick one thing she liked about her body. She became a successful high-fashion model and went on to have her own TV show. So she must have found something to love about her body, because the many people who tuned into her certainly found her likable. People feel about us the way we feel about ourselves. Don't forget that. Because that means if you learn to love yourself, other people will love you too. And that's a good feeling, to love and be loved. No doubt. That's the end of this video. Thank you for watching.